You know what you should do? You should follow me on Twitter at Brommer018. Link in the description. Do it now. So recently I did a video covering the FIFA 21 reveal and announcement, and it's safe to say that my reaction was pretty negative. In that video, I talked about how I would go into more depth in the future in another video about why fans should be worried and essentially not feeling very optimistic at all about the upcoming release of FIFA 21. And today, I'm going to go into detail about why that is. As always, be sure to get your thoughts down in the comments section and let me know what you think, and I will do my best to get back to each and every comment. And on that note, let's get into it. So, it's fair to say that the actual announcement of FIFA 21 was very, very poor. It was actually one of the most baffling announcements I've ever seen, to be honest. It was strange because FIFA 21 was barely shown in the trailer. It was mainly Madden, and they were merged into one. And this was just so puzzling. It was so puzzling to me. And I didn't understand it at all. I tried putting it out to you guys in the video, and, you know, everyone was really as puzzled as me. But the strange thing is, it wasn't getting a lot of attention from other people, you know. And I think, again, really, really weird, because why on earth would you mix Madden with FIFA? Like, you mix American football with regular football. It just made no sense to me. So yeah, that in itself was automatically alarm bells were starting to ring. And within that trailer, which hopefully you can see on screen now, there was barely any FIFA in it, as mentioned. You know, it was mainly Madden gameplay, and in terms of FIFA gameplay, you saw none of it. You saw a penalty being lined up, you saw Mbappe's face sweating, some clips of Liverpool fans, and that was really about it. And so this was ultimately one of the strangest things that you can really come across in a game reveal. So automatically alarm bells started ringing. But then that perhaps wasn't one of the most surprising things about the reveal. One of the things that is really, you know, a point of focus should be here was the release date. Now, obviously, FIFA usually comes out around about mid to late September, usually maybe between the 16th to the 30th, somewhere around those lines in September. This time, however, it was revealed that the release date would be delayed until early October, October 7th to be precise, and that will just be, I believe, for the early edition as well. It might be a little bit later for the standard edition. So that in itself is a major red flag. You know, that is a real red flag that poses a question here. You know, why is the release date delayed? Are they behind? You know, now of course, has the virus, you know, the pandemic going around, has that, you know, messed with their preparations? Has that delayed them? And, you know, that's why we're seeing a later release date, possibly, you know, and that's no problem at all, you know. Of course, I know that Romania was put on lockdown, which of course is partly where FIFA is developed with EA Romania. They had a national lockdown for maybe a month or two, so, you know, that could have posed problems. Again, no. You know, on the other hand, it's also developed in Canada, in British Columbia, and as far as I know, they didn't have a national lockdown. So, you know, and with this sort of thing, you know, I feel like you can take the technology, you can work from home. So again, it's one of those things. Is that a fair excuse? Yeah, maybe, but, you know, other companies have managed to get games out during this time. You know, we got the likes of the new F1 game, the Last of Us. Different, all sorts of games, you know, all sorts of games have been released during this time. They've managed to get it out, in particular during the time when crunch is, you know, sort of most sort of prominent in the time phase of developing a game. So, you know, it's one of them. Yeah, maybe it does affect you, but again, it should still leave you as a fan and a player of FIFA worried about the release, you know, because that says to me that they are behind. And you can merge that with the fact that all the reveals, and hopefully you can see that on screen now, usually they'll reveal something about the game mode, a certain game mode. So you'll have Ultimate Team, you'll have Career Mode, you'll have Volta, which we'll come on to shortly, and also gameplay as well. You'll have Pro Clubs on top of that, and they'll have a set time and a set date that they will announce and sort of reveal more stuff about that game mode. Now, usually These start at the end of June, maybe early July as well. I've seen a couple coming to late August, but this time they had no dates for them other than that they will be at some point in August. So, that in itself is worrying again. You've delayed all of the announcements for the reveals, added details and stuff about the game, about the gameplay. And so, again, that tells me it's not ready to show, which is worrying because of the fact that it's a yearly franchise. And so, there's not much that changes year on year. You only have a 10-month development cycle before you've got to start sort of reworking it. Yeah, maybe 12 months, give or take. And so, it's not as though you're developing a AAA game, open world, massive from scratch. You've already got the basis to work upon. You make tweaks here and there. You make changes and little improvements, additions and stuff. And so, again, that's quite a worrying thing, for them to be so far behind and to not know anything at all when we're, 3 months away from, the release. I mean, we'll come on to that shortly as well. But, again, yeah, same thing. And so, we mentioned it already, Volta. Now, this is something that should worry people, and that is that they're clearly pressing ahead with Volta for next season. And, I mean, I was one of the people who, when it was announced, and most people were the same, I was very excited. I had already been pressing, sort of pushing the buttons for a FIFA Street release. I'd release videos on it and stuff. I wanted another FIFA Street. That's a game I have enjoyed in the past. And then, they revealed that it'll actually be coming as part of FIFA. So you won't even have to, play it, buy another game. It will be part of the game. And I thought, yeah, great. That's great. I was really looking forward to it. And it has just been one of the biggest letdowns we have seen. Without doubt, one of the true letdowns of the EA FIFA brigade. That is for sure. It's not working. It hasn't worked. People aren't enjoying it. It's an absolute buggy mess. It was rushed. It was done wrong. And quite simply, I'm prepared to say this now, I would rather you have a separate team working on it, a completely new team, a separate team working on a separate game, and you release a separate FIFA Street. Simple as. Because when you make it part of FIFA, it's clear to me that they didn't really expand the team that much. So it's not as if they've got a whole new set of guys in working on that game mode. They've taken, employees from other areas to be working on that game mode, on Volta. So you're actually taking away from the development cycle of other modes, which for me is wrong. I don't want to see that. I don't want it at the cost of the quality of other modes, and we see it playing as well when you play the modes. So for me, it's just completely failed. It's not worked, and the fact that they're pressing on with this and are clearly going on with it for another season, that's a worrying thing, because it's just not going to work, and you just know there's still going to be issues with it. I can guarantee you for now, we'll come back to this in 3 or 4 months' time, and I'll be saying almost the same things, maybe some new things that are wrong with Volta, and I can just tell this is not going to work. So the fact that they're still ploughing resources into this and employees is not good. That is not promising to me at all, and they're still pushing it out. So again, that's another reason why I think we should be very, very cautious about any positive feelings you could have about the upcoming release. Something that I've alluded to already, which is perhaps the most important part of this, is we've still not got any gameplay whatsoever. Literally nothing at all, and that itself is worrying. At the very minimum, what you'll see is during sort of the EA Play press conference time, say like the start of June, mid-June, they'll show their trailer, which is a reveal trailer, not actually a gameplay trailer, but you'll see little clips here and there of things, nothing too revealing. But then you'll also have people who have, sort of influencers, people who've gone to the event, to the conference, and they've been hands-on with the game. Maybe they can show a little bit of gameplay. If not, they can at least talk about it, give their thoughts. But here we have nothing. We literally have nothing at all, and so we're just none the wiser. We are none the wiser whatsoever. And that, again, as I've already alluded to, we are 3 months away, as of recording this, we are 3 months away from the release date and you have nothing to show us. Not one thing. That's worrying. You know, that is not a very promising sign at all, to be 3 months away and not have anything to show, considering, as I've already spoken about, you know, you're not developing a game from scratch. You're using the same engine, you're building on the platform of the previous game, in this case FIFA 20. You're building on that, but you have nothing to show us. You know, that is worrying. And so, again, for me, what are we looking for here? You know, what are we waiting around for? Because, you know, I can't see no reason other than the fact that you are perhaps, maybe you tried to make a lot of changes and, you know, very far behind, or you simply don't have enough changes to show us, in which case it doesn't bode well either way. And sort of building on from the whole gameplay aspect to there, you know, for any subscribers to my channel who watch me regularly, you'll know that I have been very, very outspoken about FIFA 20 gameplay, particularly in the second half. You know, in the first half I could tolerate it, but it's just got worse as patches have come out. There are so many bugs in the gameplay. There are so many issues that need to be addressed, and you know, to see that we are 3 months away, we don't have any news on those being addressed. They've got so much work to do on that front. Again, that's worrying. I can't see them being able to, or even trying to fix all these issues that we've spoken about time and time again. You know, we've mentioned the likes of the career mode, you know, ultimate difficulty being tuned and absolutely completely ruining it. But it's not just things like that. There's so many minor issues that I've spoken about repeatedly in the gameplay. I've got a Fixing FIFA series where we speak about these sort of things as well. And like I say, I don't see how they're going to be able to fix all of these issues, or even half of them, when it looks like they're so far behind in what they're trying to do. Because again, we're seeing nothing and we've got nothing. So for me, how on earth is the experience going to be such an improvement on what we've got already this year? Something that's going to go a bit under the radar that I also want to speak about is obviously the real life football season. Now, of course, it's changed for the majority of leagues. You know, a lot of them have been delayed, and therefore they finish maybe in end of July, or some even in August. Then you've got the Champions League and Europa League. You've got the European competitions that are not starting until mid-August, which then means that you're going to have potentially a delay to the league seasons as well, restarting. So maybe you have early, mid-September, maybe it's even later than that, you know. And then we've got to think about sort of the squads and the rosters, all the player ratings. You know, what are they going to do about that? How do they sort of control that? Do they just go on last season? Do they delay the release of updated rosters, all the transfers and stuff? Again, will the transfer window be moved and relocated to sort of, you know, complement the whole, you know, season relocating and moving and stuff? You know, there's still a lot of question marks surrounding that issue. And for me, you know, I already moaned about it on something that happened on Pro Evolution Soccer last year, where the updated rosters, all the squads, all the transfers, the ratings and stuff, they weren't released until, you know, a few days after the actual game was released. And so I feel like we can't have another issue of that on FIFA. You know, either you release the game when it's ready, or you delay it, you know, if it's not ready. So it's just one of those. Again, you know, that's going to be an issue that they're going to have to try and work around. You know, and I know a lot of you guys will agree, we don't want to be playing with outdated rosters, in which case you may as well just remove the whole idea of selling a game every year, and just have it a subscription model, which is something we will actually talk about in another video. So, you know, do look out for that. You know, because the whole releasing a game year on year, if you've not got the rosters ready, if you've not got the transfers, the new ratings ready, is completely pointless. So again, that's something we need to bear in mind. And for me, and I know you guys will probably feel the same, I'm not feeling optimistic at all about this release. I'm really not. And so I want to hear what you guys said as at the start of the video. Please do get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Any of my points you agree or disagree with, do let me know. Like I say, I'll do my best to get back to each and every one of them. You know, like I say, this is just something I think I'm even more pessimistic about it than in previous years. You know, usually a lot of FIFA fans, it's the same thing each year. We know that, they're going to let us down. You know, I haven't enjoyed a FIFA game for quite a long time now, for quite a few years. You know, to think about it, maybe 13 was the last one I enjoyed. I don't know, maybe 17 was in there. I don't know. But every year I just find myself really losing the desire to play these games. And so, you know, for me, this really has not helped that at all. I'm quite pessimistic about the release. Not looking forward to it at all. Hopefully I can be wrong. I would hope nothing more than to be wrong. I hope people don't think I'm just what's the word? Sort of just trying to spread negativity out. I would love nothing more than these games to be good. PES as well as FIFA. But at the moment, it's not looking good. So we'll see. And you know, we'll be covering it a lot more, so please do make sure you subscribe to the channel to get regular updates on these sort of things. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it as I hope you have. And on that note, we are going to finish it off there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.